Good morning, everyone. This is Alan Stage. This is my final response for the Module 1, my takeaways and kind of looking forward. The thing that really stuck out to me for this module was the three faces of academic freedom. I'd always thought about academic freedom from that individual standpoint of usually a faculty member being able to, research what they want to research or um, discuss controversial topics or say certain things in their course or even out in public discourse. And a little bit on the institutional side too, as far as institutions being able to pursue certain research and things like that. And I think I always thought about it from probably more a university setting than the community college setting. And the thing that I really took away from this first module was how academic freedom not only applies to institutions, but how institution to institution they're really affected by each other. And um, I talked about it at one point in my post, and we talked a little bit in the video discussion about how do credits transfer or how credits transfer affect what is taught at a community college level or even just what types of um, what types of courses are taken, what types of texts are used, and how that's influenced by that kind of hierarchy of university, community college, all the way down through high school. And that really stuck out to me and got me thinking about how do the laws we have or the agreements we have both restrict our academic freedom as well as possibly enhance our academic freedom. And by that I mean I think of you know a four-year institution in Minnesota might not take one of our courses outside of our general education transfer curriculum, which is guaranteed by state law because of something we teach, or in the example I used on my post was the textbook the faculty member was using. However, within the transfer curriculum courses, so that was a principles of chemistry course that was a major course that the four-year institution wasn't taking. But within the transfer curriculum, where we have maybe our survey of Chem 101, that's guaranteed to transfer by state law. So that is actually, I think, providing a little bit of academic freedom for the faculty member in that if they choose a different textbook, if they do different experiments, if they focus on different things, it's still going to be covered under that transfer agreement, that Minnesota transfer curriculum, which allows them the autonomy to teach that how they want to teach it, to see it how they want to see it. And so that was something I thought was really interesting to me, that conversation that happened in a lot of different threads about how do our transfer agreements or our laws within our individual states affect the academic freedom we have? Do do those outside burdens place more pressure on us, restrict our academic freedom? And I think in a lot of cases they do. But I also think that in some ways, in certain cases, they can also allow us the academic freedom to pursue different things, both as an institution and as individual faculty within individual classes. But moving forward, I think that whole idea transfers into what I would like to think about more in that how do we find that balance at the community college level? Obviously, academic freedom is really important both for institutions and for individual faculty members, but what's the right balance? I think that's a big question at the community college level that maybe four-year institutions don't face, in that our charge is to either prepare students for the workforce based on trades or vocational programs, our technical transfer programs, but then our transfer programs or liberal arts are really designed to prepare them for the four-year level. So how do we find that balance of we are working with other institutions to make sure our curriculum fits theirs moving forward, and kind of have that universal context to them, and how do we maintain that academic freedom? And I think of, I have a little bit of a bias being from the military, but I think of the military in that if I know somebody's been to a certain school and I ask them to do something in line with going to that school, maybe setting up a radio or writing a report, I know it's going to be done a certain way, and that gives me, as a leader and as somebody working with that person, a lot of um, a lot of confidence that's going to be done a certain way. And so then I wonder, how does that apply to how our community colleges are preparing students to transfer to four-year schools? Do we have a certain obligation to make sure that certain things are covered, or that things are being done a certain way to make sure that to some degree everybody's being prepared in the same way? And so that's something that I look forward to looking at more, and how that plays into academic freedom, how that restricts academic freedom for faculty members and or institutions, and maybe even students, and how does that then give us the freedom to explore topics beyond just that once we have those things covered. So that's what I took away from Module 1, and that's what I'm looking forward to continuing to build on in this course. Thanks.